You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. The Philippines successfully conducts another resupply mission to the BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal, despite yet another attempt by China to interfere and harass. Meanwhile, leaders of different social movements are launching an initiative to raise awareness and garner support for the cause of situation of fisherfolk communities in the West Philippine Sea. Their project will consist of donation drives and an all-civilian supply mission to deliver the donated items to troops stationed at the BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Atin Ito campaign convener Edicio Dela Torre. Sir Ed, welcome to the source. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, Pinky. Thank you for giving us a venue to explain our campaign.
Absolutely. So this came out, I believe, about 3 days ago. Senator Risa Ontiveros was there as well. And first, I just want to make this clear. Is Atin Ito a new group? Because I seem to have heard this in the past.
Oh yes, the words are not new. People have been using that, but as a group, yeah, we came together, and this was, I don't know, it's difficult to say. As a former priest, I almost consider it providential, but you could almost call it partly accidental. You know, there's a lot of concern because of the news, and people were saying, what can we do? And some activists among us say, hindi naman pwedeng tulad ng dating puro protest, baka napapagod yung mga tao sa ganun lang. So I said, let's do something more positive, including, okay, there are big geopolitical issues. Mag-focus tayo sa maliliit kasi sila naman talagang tinatamaan.
Opo.
So what's interesting is, in addition to organized groups, NGOs like PRRM, we had a lot of creatives, including yung Team Manila na gumagawa ng t-shirts, bloggers and all that. So we came together and said, oh sige, let's focus. Of course, the issue is there, but let's focus on helping directly the fisherfolk. And then, of course, others said, tulungan na rin natin ang Coast Guard. Pangalawa, tulungan na rin yung BRP Sierra Madre. So sabi namin, sige, let's coordinate sa Coast Guard. Pwede ba yun? And sabi nila, wow, difficult ang weather, but
yeah,
there's nothing wrong doing it. Kung hindi matuloy, ituloy pa rin natin another time. So, I personally was excited about it because, well, I'm very old already, lumang matanda ng aktivista. Sabi ko, baka it's another way of messaging, raising awareness, but through a more positive campaign. No? Sabi ko nga, we pick up maybe a method and tactic from, because I'm a former priest from the church, no? Nagdo-donation drive kapag Pasko, but in addition, my education and information.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll even have a concert. So the whole idea is, principally yung awareness and concern, but with a specific, parang actionable na hindi masyadong mabigat, and it's something the spirit of Christmas. No?
Yeah, in fact, it brings a smile to one's face. I mean, personally, when I saw the press conference, because I think you nailed it when you said you wanted a more positive approach. And the positive approach is, it's a donation drive. But before I go to that, I was just interested to find out, who's part of the group, and how did you guys come together?
Well, I must plead guilty. PRRM hosted the meeting because sabi nila ikaw lang ang may opisina. But the people who thought of it are some people from Akbayan, alam mo mga aktivista na yan. And there are some people from another NGO, Karet, which has fisherfolk, including fisherfolk from the representing the sector in the National Anti-Poverty Commission.
Okay.
But the others are really creatives. Oh, including, by the way, correspondents, including foreign correspondents. Sabi lang, magandang issue ito, pero at least ibang twist ninyo.
Apo.
So yes, it was a rush thing. Maybe within a month, we put together, we cobbled together. That's why it's a work in progress.
All right.
But I feel the key word, as you said, not just fun, which I got from the creatives. Alam mo naman, mga matatanda tulad namin, nag-iisip lagi, ano kayang iniisip ng bata-bata sa atin? Sabi nila, Ed, ang mahalagang issue sa amin, creatives, is it must be cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
Apo.
Sige kako. Well, let's hope it will become cool, but without necessarily losing the slight edge that we want to say. Hindi naman ito fun lang.
Opo.
We want to send a message rin na, hey, issue ito. In fact, I want to link
This
that
is
to the earlier
serious.
interview. Dramatic kasi yung namamatay.
Yeah.
Pero ito, day to day, nababawasan ang kita ng ating mga fisher folk.
Okay,
May
all right.
tatamaan yan. Of course, it's not as dramatic, but still painful, no?
Opo. Sir Ed, we need to talk about the donation drive, but just I
Yes.
need to take a very short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. We have breaking news on CNN Philippines. Inflation rose again in September at 6.1% from 5.3% in August. Dennis Mapa of the Philippine Statistics Authority says the main driver of acceleration was food and non-alcoholic beverages. He also attributes the faster inflation recorded in September to transport following a series of price hikes. Again, breaking news, inflation rose anew in September at 6.1%, and we'll give you more details of this as soon as it becomes available to us. Now let's go back to our source today, Atin Ito campaign convener, Ed Dela Torre. Sir Ed, we have about 2 minutes left. So it's a donation drive, right? What can be donated and where?
Yes, we said donation of materials. When it's not going to be a fundraising campaign, partly because any interesting campaign you get scammers. So we want physical material good. If you have money, buy it and then donate.
I
And the
see.
drop-off points, in addition, are the initial conveners, PRRM, and Caret, and Team Manila, and others. And the link is interesting yung first half, pwedeng canned good, pero wag naman sardinas. But I think in the light of the earlier interview, baka we should put a premium on light, no? Battery
Opo.
powered para they'll have stronger lights at night. We got a first response at PRRM wanting to donate this bucket hat, yung medyo cloth na ganyan. Because kailangan talaga, and we thought with some farmers, some fisher folk yung long sleeve
Opo.
jackets because nga sa init or sa lamig. No?
Opo.
So it's flashed on but be creative. What we are doing now is talking to different fisher folks group to find out ano ba talaga ang priorities. But interestingly, it's starting to gain momentum. Even some church groups were already offering eventually when they get their permission that some of the churches could be drop-off points.
Yeah, and here's the thing. There is a plan to actually go to BRP Sierra Madre.
Oh yes, and problema nga maraming gustong sumakay sa bangka. Pati mga young people, vloggers, media. Baka naman namin, although one mischievous said, basta walang construction materials, baka tayo banatan. There's a bit of lightheartedness, but also a kind of, wow, this is exciting. I wonder what will happen. So it's an interesting campaign. For me, it's a new twist. But the is raising awareness and concern. That's it, no?
Yeah, but can you imagine if this actually pushes through? Number one, I don't know if you need a permit from the government to be able to do this. And the second one is to actually see the Marines stationed there in BRP Sierra Madre. Of course, we know that they go on shifts, ano po. But to send that presence for them to actually see Filipinos, appreciating what they do there, being stationed there, that's going to be a big thing if you are allowed. Do you need a permit for this?
We're coordinating first with the Philippine Coast Guard. And secondly, obviously, we'll have to seek a go-ahead from there's a task force on the West Philippine Sea.
Right.
We are not foolhardy or just adventurous. We want it to be safe for the participants. But as you said, the main thing is, and I can understand that, I'm a former prisoner, Christmas is also a time you feel more lonely. So whenever people visit you and give you gifts and all that, over and above the material, it's being there and saying in so many words, you're important and we are rooting for you. So
all right.
I hope that message will be delivered even if the weather turns us back. Sabi namin, kung hindi pwede, di mag-Valentine's gift na lang tayo. This is not going to be a one-off thing. We will look for different ways of sending materials to the fisher folk, to the Coast Guard, and to BRP Sierra Madre.
Thank you, Atin Ito campaign convener, Sir Ed Dela Torre, and good luck, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.